Chosen ones, today's message is not ordinary. It has come from heaven directly to your heart. If you are hearing this, it is no coincidence. It is a divine appointment. God has decided that you will no longer live in worry. Your labor, your prayers, your tears have not gone unnoticed. God has seen your sacrifices, and He has opened His checkbook, not earthly, but heavenly. From today, your life will be funded by His resources, not the promises of men. From today, you will receive provision from the heavens, because your God has decided, enough is enough. Now I will provide for you myself. In this world, we often rely on ourselves. We've been taught that if we work hard enough, we can have everything we want. But the chosen ones know it doesn't just happen through hard work. It happens through decision. And when God makes a decision, natural laws bend. Where people close doors, God opens them. Where humans say impossible, God says, the time has come. Your struggles are now on the edge of a great transformation, and your part is simply to believe and receive the truth. This message isn't for those who just want to hear. It's for those who want to understand, those who feel that their spirit is calling for a higher truth. God is saying, my chosen ones, from now on, your financial, spiritual, and emotional provision will come from me. You no longer need to beg. You no longer need to prove yourself. You simply need to walk with me. When God decides, the questions stop. Only the journey remains. Have you ever felt that your life has been a test after test, and yet, somehow, you are still standing? Comment "I'm ready" below so we can see how many people are stepping into their divine moment. Like this video, subscribe to Chosen Destiny, because we don't just talk, we awaken souls. Now, the season of struggle, lack, and limitation is over. God is saying, it's time to step into the new. Many of you have been waiting, hoping, and praying for a breakthrough, but today, God is revealing that the breakthrough is not coming. It's already here. The season you've been in, filled with uncertainty, financial strain, and emotional exhaustion, is shifting. The moment has arrived for you to walk in divine provision. But the question is, will you receive it? God has already declared it over your life. The abundance you've been seeking is already on its way. You are no longer bound by the limits of this world. You are moving into a supernatural season where God's favor will unlock doors that you thought were forever closed. You will no longer have to fight in your own strength because God's favor will fight for you. He's moving on your behalf. Everything you need, financially, emotionally, spiritually, is already in the works. There's a powerful principle in the Bible that says, when you are faithful with the little, God will trust you with the much. It's not about what you have in your hand right now, but what you are willing to trust God with. Are you ready to let go of the old mindset of lack? Are you ready to step into the abundance that's already prepared for you? This is your moment to believe that the time for provision is now. God is asking you today, will you trust Him to fund your life? Will you step into the new season with open hands and a heart ready to receive? Drop a comment below saying, I'm ready for the new season, and share this video with someone who needs this message. It's time to embrace your divine provision. God doesn't just want to provide for you in a natural way. He is calling you to a higher level of provision, supernatural provision. You see, when God funds your life, He doesn't just give you enough to scrape by. He provides in abundance. He wants to bless you so that you can be a blessing to others. But here's the catch. God's supernatural supply often requires a shift in perspective. Think about the story of the widow who had only a small amount of oil left in her jar. The prophet Elisha told her to gather as many empty jars as she could and pour what little oil she had into them. She obeyed, and miraculously, the oil didn't run out until every jar was full. The supernatural provision flowed because she took a step of faith and believed that God could multiply her small offering into something greater. In the same way, God is calling you to believe that He can do more than you can ask or imagine. The key is to take that first step of faith, even when it seems impossible. You might only have a little faith, a little hope, or a little money right now. But when you place it in God's hands, He will multiply it beyond measure. Your provision will not come through your own strength or efforts, but through God's supernatural supply. Are you ready to take that first step of faith? To believe that God can supply more than you need? Comment below with "I trust God's provision," and don't forget to share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Together, let's walk in the supernatural supply of God. You might wonder, how do I activate this divine provision in my life? The answer is simple: through prayer. Prayer is the key that unlocks the door to God's provision. It's not just about asking for what you need. It's about aligning your heart with God's will and opening yourself up to His infinite resources. The Bible says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you." God is a generous Father who desires to bless His children. But we must first ask in faith, with the expectation that He will provide. Prayer is not just a way to present your needs to God. It's a way to build relationship and trust with the One who holds all resources in His hands. Many of us have been praying for provision, but have you truly believed that God will provide? Have you asked with expectation, knowing that God delights in blessing you? When you pray, pray boldly. Pray confidently. Pray with the assurance that God will give you exactly what you need. He has already promised to provide for you, and His promises are always true. How have you seen God answer your prayers in the past? Share your testimony in the comments below and encourage others with your story of God's faithfulness. And if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to Chosen Destiny, and join us as we walk boldly in faith and prayer. One of the hardest things for us to do is trust in God's timing. We want everything now, but God's timing is perfect. Sometimes His provision doesn't come exactly when we expect it, but it always comes at the right time. When you are walking in faith and obedience, trust that God is working behind the scenes, preparing what you need at just the right moment. Think about the story of Abraham and Sarah. God promised them a child, but they had to wait for many years before the promise was fulfilled. But in the waiting, God was teaching them patience, trust, and faith. He was refining their hearts so that when the promise came, they would be ready to receive it. God's timing is often a test of our trust. Your provision might not be here yet, but that doesn't mean God has forgotten you. He is preparing something greater than you can imagine. Trust that the delay is not a denial. God is working all things together for your good, and in His time, the blessings will come. Stay faithful, stay patient, and keep trusting the process. Have you ever struggled with waiting on God's timing? What has He taught you in the waiting? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's encourage each other to trust in His perfect timing. And remember to subscribe to Chosen Destiny for more inspiring messages. When God funds your life, it's not just so you can live in ease, it's so you can walk in purpose with power. Divine provision follows divine assignment. In other words, provision shows up where you're supposed to be. That's why so many people feel drained or stuck. They're trying to fund a life God never called them to live. But the moment you step into alignment, resources start appearing, opportunities unfold, peace returns, because God always provides for the purpose He designed. The money, the people, the platform, they're not the point. The purpose is the point. And when your life begins to mirror heaven's design, funding flows naturally. Think about Nehemiah. He had a burden in his heart to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. It wasn't just an emotional burden, it was a divine assignment. And when he stepped into his assignment, the king, who was not even a believer, gave him everything he needed to fulfill it. Nehemiah didn't have to beg or manipulate anyone. He simply had to align with God's purpose. When you align with God's will, His provision will come. It's as simple as that. But walking in purpose takes courage. When you truly step into the life God has called you to, you'll often find yourself walking on paths where others hesitate. You'll find yourself building what doesn't yet exist. You'll be asked to speak when silence would be easier. You'll be asked to give when you feel empty. True purpose isn't always easy. It's often heavy. But that's where the joy comes from. Purpose will stretch you, pull you, break you. But in return, it will give you a peace that nothing in this world can offer. And when God funds your purpose, you'll never be left to struggle on your own. You'll have everything you need to fulfill your calling. So, what is the purpose you've been called to? Is it something you've been avoiding because it seems too big or too impossible? Take a moment and reflect on what God is calling you to do. Are you ready to step into that calling, knowing that He will provide everything you need? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if this message resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to Chosen Destiny. We're in this together. The time has come for you to step into a new season, a season of supernatural supply. God is not only going to meet your needs, He is going to exceed them. The resources you've been waiting for are already on their way. This season isn't just about financial blessings. It's about everything God has promised to provide for you, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Think about the Israelites. When they were wandering in the wilderness, they had nothing. But God provided them with manna from heaven. He didn't just give them enough to survive, He gave them exactly what they needed, and it came from places they could never have imagined. In the same way, God is about to provide for you in ways you never thought possible. You may have been struggling in your own strength, but now it's time to stop trying to make things happen on your own. God is about to bring you into a season where His provision is effortless. This is the season when you will see doors open that you didn't even knock on. This is the season when the impossible will become possible. This is the season when God will take you from lack to abundance, from despair to hope, from struggle to rest. And it's all going to happen in His timing. Are you ready for the supernatural supply that God has promised you? Trust that this is your season for abundance, and know that everything you've prayed for is already in the works. Leave a comment below saying, "I believe in supernatural supply," and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Like this video and subscribe to Chosen Destiny so we can continue walking together in faith and divine provision. Chosen ones, this is just the beginning. The road ahead may not always be smooth, but it will be filled with God's provision every step of the way. As you walk in faith, trust in His timing, and align with His purpose, you will see how everything you need is already being set into motion. Remember, when God funds your life, it's not just about your comfort. It's about fulfilling the divine assignment He has given you. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were created for greatness, and now the resources you need to walk in that greatness are being provided. So take a deep breath, trust God, and move forward with boldness. This is your season. The time has come to live in divine provision. If this message has touched you, leave a comment below, share your thoughts, and let's continue to support each other on this incredible journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a powerful message from Chosen Destiny. Your divine destiny is waiting,